And we are underway from Indianapolis. The Mercury, the only team the Fever have not faced this year. They'll match up 3 times over the final 18 games and twice over the next 8 days as Kahleah Copper turns, fades, and banks it home.
A couple of things the Fever have to do tonight. They got to force some tough twos. This is the second best three-point made team in the league. They are fantastic at spreading. They got to advance the pass to look to attack and advance the ball up the floor. This is a slower-paced Phoenix team that loves to play in the quarter court defensively.
There's the head coach of the Phoenix Mercury in his second season. It is Nate Tibbetts. Christy Tolliver, Michael Joyner, and Megan Vogel are the assistants on the Phoenix sideline. It's Indian offense coming off a 93-point evening in Chicago. The offense was really flowing well. Kelsey Mitchell led the way with 35, but a lot of balance as well as Natasha Howard flips in her first shot tonight.
Her field goal percentage at the front of the rim has been outstanding all season. She's a great finisher, left or right, off 2 feet.
Here's Monika Koa-Makani missing on her first look. Boston with the outlet pass. Here's Cunningham pulling up and missing on a 3-ball. She has been hot, over 50% from the 3-point line over her last 7 games.
Those quick shots are going to be okay for Indiana in transition as long as they can match up defensively should they miss.
Fever looking for their 3rd win in a row, which would match their largest winning streak of the season. An offensive foul will put an end to that possession on a moving screen.
Aaliyah Boston averages 3.5 fouls a game, and it seems her tendency has been for Stephanie White to pick up a couple of quick ones in the first quarter. Like that right there, that drag screen, that's just a rhythm thing between her and Ari McDonald.
The Mercury are in the midst of a monstrous road trip. This is day 7 and game 3 of a 5-game road trip. Kahleah Copper turns it over. They're 1-1 on the road trip here so far. They're coming off a 16-point win in Washington. Nate Tibbetts' group flexing their defensive muscle down the stretch. They held Washington to just 26 second-half points on Sunday.
Well, Alyssa Thomas took over in the 3rd quarter. She had 27, 11, and 8 assists to go along with 3 steals. AT, one of the MVP candidates in the WNBA right now for Nate Tibbetts, the head coach for Phoenix. See the top.
Fever donning their Stranger Things uniforms here for a 2nd straight home game as Boston steps through and can't finish inside. Boston, who is 2nd in the WNBA in field goal percentage, has 3 straight double-doubles. She's never had 4 in her career. Sabally rescues the loose ball on the drive, shot off the mark. I'll say Boston touched it last, it'll stay here with Phoenix.
So the 3 touches that Copper has times with Copper.
Here's Satu Sabally in her first season in Phoenix. Step through, won't fall. Offensive rebound, draws the foul and 1.
In the WNBA.
Well, Sabally came over in the offseason in that 3-team deal that involved Indiana, Dallas too. Sophie Cunningham came to the Fever in that trade. So both of these teams got better thanks to that 3-team deal. Cunningham has played so well here for Indiana over the last month. So too has Ari McDonald, who did not start the season with the Fever, but has really come on strong. Pass inside, it's a bullet from Howard to Boston.
See, that was the hockey assist by Ari McDonald because she gets it to Howard, who can throw that high-low pass in there. Great find by Natasha.
Thomas with the left-hand push shot, and she rattles it home.
You got to force them to take tough twos, Pat. You can't let them spot up behind the 3-point line. So far, Indiana has not let them do that.
Well, this is what Phoenix does better than anybody in the league. Force, or in this case, attempt to force the turnover.
Watch the great position AB gets. She's
center jump circle. Natasha Mack is 6'4", and Ari McDonald at just 5'6". Mack wins the jump ball. And Sabally has the size advantage, goes right to work, leaves it short. Cunningham had it for a moment. Thomas rips it away. And now Thomas charging inside, draws the foul.
Alyssa Thomas, pound for pound, one of the toughest competitors in the league.
Thomas, who has finished in the top 5 of the MVP voting each of the last 3 seasons, seems all but destined to finish perhaps even in the top 3, maybe even compete for an MVP. DeWanna Bonner can't connect on a 3, but she's fouled.
You can hear the crowd booing. DeWanna Bonner played 9 games with it on the crowd, saying, "Bring it on." I tell you what, DeWanna Bonner has played well in her time at Phoenix.
And now a word from IndianaWorkers.com. DeWanna Bonner, who started her 16th season here in Indiana and played her first 6 games with the Fever, requested out early in the season and is now back with the franchise where she has played 11 seasons with, has played the second most games in Phoenix Mercury franchise history behind only Diana Taurasi, but the Fever having trouble here pulling down these rebounds in the opening quarter. All-star on all-star as Thomas works on Boston, hesitates. Boston got a piece, and Boston able to tiptoe the baseline and come up with the rebound. Here's McDonald, full steam ahead, draws the foul.
It's a really good attack in transition. When you don't see 2 shoulders, 2 hips in front, and you see a clear path to the bucket, you have to drive it. Ari McDonald making an excellent read right there. See right here.
Tonight is game number 27 of the season for the Fever. Caitlin Clark has played in 13 of them. So this is their first game where they played more games without than with Clark this year. Ari McDonald has stood in and done a fine job, but the Fever certainly missing their second-year all-star point guard in Caitlin Clark. There is no timetable currently on Clark's groin injury. Here's Sabali back on the attack and lays it in.
Yeah, what Phoenix is doing is just using their size to attack Indiana off the bounce, and they're getting 2 feet in the paint.
Sabali a little slow to get up. The Fever had 5-on-4 for a moment. Sabali making her way back into the frame here, but
inadvertent elbow.
Mitchell catch and shoot off the mark on Kelsey Mitchell's first look here of the night. And Copper lost the handle in transition. There's the rookie Timpson, who's really come on here in the month of July. Boston backing her way in on Thomas, spins, loses the handle, and they'll say Boston touched it last. So Indiana's turned it over here 3 times in the opening 5 minutes. Phoenix forces 17 of those turnovers per game, most in the WNBA. Thomas on the drive. There's a whistle first. And a foul on the Fever. That is already Indiana's 4th.
I mean, Alyssa Thomas coming downhill is not on Indiana.
Here is Thomas, this time with the right hand. It skips off. She is ambidextrous, so she shoots with the right and the left here tonight.
Phoenix has attempted
we rise, we run, we won't back down. This is our moment, this is our crown. Game on, let's take it home. We fight together, we're not alone. Game on, hearts made of stone. Victory's calling, it's in our bones. Sweat is dripping, breath is fire. Push the limit, climb up higher. Every step builds our empire. We charge, we chase, we're here to claim. We're the thunder, we're the flame. Game on, let's take it home. We fight together, we're not alone. Game on, hearts made of stone.
Boston got deep position inside, and a foul on Alyssa Thomas.